Welcome, everyone. We're just going to give folks one more minute to join and try to get the live stream started here. If you ever have folks who ask you about the Dear Neighbor series and aren't able to join live, they are all on our YouTube page. A handy little place to go to if you're looking for some previous information or want to direct people to some of our previous sessions. We will just get started now. I am so excited to introduce our folks from our Justice Committee for our 375th celebration, which is coming up so quickly. We are exactly a month out. We will be in Kansas City, July 18th through the 20th. And while in-person registration has closed, virtual registration is still available. We're really excited because pretty much everything is going to be live streamed. So if you can't make it in person, really encourage folks to register virtually. If you register as an individual, you can indicate if you'd like to be put into small groups so you can participate in that way as well. So it really is a hybrid experience. And because I want to give our justice folks as much time as possible, I'm going to introduce Christian Murphy, who is on our core planning team and has headed up the justice subcommittee for the event. Christian is the justice coordinator director for the Sisters of St. Joseph of Brentwood, and we're just so thankful for his leadership on this. And I'll pass it to you, Christian.
Thanks, Kristen. So happy to be with you all here today to present this. I feel like this has been this is like a big reveal in a sense of some of the things that we're going to go over today of what we're doing for the Ignite portion of the conference. And first and foremost, just say how much of an honor it is to be part of this. I got to attend the event 22. I was a campus minister at the time, and I got to bring some students with me. And I knew it was going to be great, but I didn't know it was going to be so transformative for myself and the students. And it was really such a glowing is the way I was really just like, wow, this is incredible. So to be now here in this position to get to even put pieces of it together for you all is so exciting. And we got some cool stuff planned for you. And so what you're looking at here is our theme, Ignite, and the beginning stages of what is going to be presented on Sunday during the justice portion. Before I dive into the details here, I just want to give a shout out to our team, which is Sister Bethany Welsh, Kasha Senor, Sister Annette McDermott, and Maria Elena Perez, who have been the team here putting this together and dealing with my crazy creative brain as we've been working through a really unique idea. And so let us ignite. Well, there we go. So where this comes from, why are we doing the presentation the way that we're going to do it? When we started gathering the committee and we started to discern where we thought we should go with this justice portion, the canvas felt really, really blank in a way that I don't think any of us have ever felt before with any planning. And I'm sure you're all feeling that in some sense with the work that you're doing right now, because unfortunately our world is just in such turmoil and there's so much division, there's so much pain. And I remember sitting there with everyone saying, how are we supposed to pick something to focus on as a justice? Like, where do we start and how do we, like, who knows what July is going to look like in our world? And right now, even as we're sitting a month away, who knows what it's going to look like with what's going on all throughout the world and the pain that we're seeing. And so we made a decision to go back and revisit different texts from the history of the sisters. And one of the committee members said, you know, I've been praying about Mother St. John Fontbonne and her yes, and the journey of her almost martyrdom. I said, okay, let's lean into that. And that's where claiming the fire of our future came from. And so together we looked at Mother St. John Fontbonne, and we read here, well, she welcomed the truth of her situation because she embodied a religious spirit born of intimate union with God and a loving and compassionate service of the dear neighbor. So we too can meet these needs of the day in that spirit. And these 6 virtues that you're seeing here, I hope you don't get sick of them because you'll be seeing them a lot. They are the guiding principles of what we're going to be looking at. And they are words that have been attributed to Mother St. John Fontbonne, and are also just words that have been attributed to the charism of the sisters and kind of all throughout various texts. And so we came together and we said, these are the 6 words we want to lean into: humility, fidelity, vision, strength, compassion, and courage. And so this is just revisiting some of the text that was given out to everyone, but just to make sure if you haven't seen this already, for this portion of the weekend, we will look at the historical and spiritual significance of Mother St. John Fonfon's yes to Joseph. This will be a unique visual encounter that'll give you the opportunity to reflect on the values and gifts that Mother St. John embodied, while also being able to see these values and gifts connected to the here and now. We will hear from multiple justice seekers and advocates as they reflect on the words presented to the audience. Now, here's the really exciting part about this. And I have a little teaser video we're going to share with you in a second. Typically, as you've encountered before at these types of gatherings, we would say, okay, we're going to focus on this topic, this issue, this area, and we're going to bring in some experts. We're going to bring in some folks to talk about it. Once we made the decision to widen it and say, we should be talking about a bunch of different things because who knows what's going to be going on, and we need to be sensitive to the realities of all the different areas of justice. We realized, I don't know if we can manage that big of a room. So putting on our creative brains, our creative hats rather, we said, let's get a bunch of people together. Let's assemble some advocates and some justice seekers, do these special Zoom interviews with them, and pre-record them, edit them together, and put them into a package that we'll be able to share with you all in the presentation through this special visual encounter. And we'll be able to introduce you to people that you may have heard of, you may have bumped into, but geographically you haven't maybe, and you'll get to hear a little bit about their experience, be inspired, and touch all these different areas, and then bring it back to the table, so to speak. And so this has been a really exciting gathering to meet with these folks and interview them and collect this information to be able to then put it together in this way. Selfishly, I just have to say this has been like one of the most creatively fulfilling experiences ever, because I love talking to people, I love meeting people, I love hearing stories, but to get to do it in this way that is linked to the charism that will be serving a purpose like this has been just really cool. And so we were able to find people, link them to the words. And so without further ado, I'm going to share with you the first time ever anyone's seen this, the teaser for the presentation that you'll see.
I feel like if we gave more people a second chance, like our entire society could change.
I try not to be judgmental. I try to see that they're wounded too. They need God's love, God's forgiveness and healing, and they need us too.
So in the beginning, myself and a couple colleagues were just, trying to figure out how do we help solve, even if it's one family at a time. We can't come up with a process that's going to help thousands of people, but like, how do we take the people who are in this fight and make sure they're taken care of?
I never had, I had a house growing up. I lived in houses, but I never had a home. So when I got to Dawn's place, one of the sisters had said to me, "Welcome home." And it did something to me because it was never said to me before in my whole entire life, "Welcome home." So when I got here, they taught me that I could love again and that I could trust again.
Oh, there we go. So There you go. That's a little teaser there. The actual experience, just to kind of walk you through a little bit of the inside baseball of it, is um, at certain moments throughout the justice portion, someone from representing their word and their organization will appear on the screen and offer a brief testimony that is being pulled from about a 30-minute interview conversation. So it'll be really wonderful, natural introduction to someone. It won't feel, I hope at least, it won't feel very like formatted in sense of like informational. It'll be really personal. And then we are going to guide you to learning more about those people. And we're going to make also the full interviews available as well after the conference. If you're like me and you go back to your hotel room or wherever and you say, I want to listen to the full thing. I love longer content to get to know someone more. They were really great conversations, and we are going to honor that conversation for you and for those that said yes to doing this and making that fully available. Because it's hard to show someone in just 5 to 7 or 8 minutes or something. But
Yeah, this is it.
yes, it is. Welcome. So the 6 words and the 6 groups, I'm going to introduce you to them briefly here and sort of just let you know a bit about how they came to be. I felt like this is just me being a little unscripted here for a minute. I'm a big superhero fan, and I was doing this with the team. It felt like we were assembling the Justice League. Like, it was like so exciting and so cool to just do all this research and say who's doing what in what areas, what connections, and what sisters know this person or that person. And it was really exciting because we essentially were looking for the superpowers out there that are doing the work that could meet this one area that we needed to be met. And so for the first one, humility, freedom from pride or arrogance, the quality or state of being humble. We're looking at Beaver County Morales Awareness Community. Hillary Flint is the representative who's going to be speaking, and she's a young adult who is, I'm not going to tell too much of her story, I don't want to spoil it, but was directly impacted by the East Palestinian train derailment and had a really profound testimony about that experience. And so she works with this community and this organization, which seeks to protect the residents of southwestern Pennsylvania, with emphasis on those in Beaver County, by informing them about the health, safety, environmental, and economic impacts of fracking infrastructure, including the petrochemical buildout, and by supporting sustainable alternatives to carbon-based energy sources and economic development strategies in Beaver County. Fidelity, we teamed up with Journey to New Life, which is a local organization in Kansas City. So that was really wonderful and a great opportunity to have that local element right there. So that was Sister Rose and Julie, I'm just, see here. Yep, Julia Lloyd, who are points of contact for that, who were in the trailer even too. Journey to New Life is a collaborative nonprofit organization that facilitates the empowerment of people re-entering society from prison or other involvement with the criminal legal system by accepting them as they are and providing first stop services, residences, case management, and employment assistance in a safe and supportive environment. The next one was St. Joseph's North Side, which was Vision. And this ministry is being represented by Bill Camp, who is the person that you'll be meeting visually. This ministry was started by Sister Peg Brennan in 2005 to help people in the northwest part of the city of Rochester. The Lyle Avenue area is a neighborhood dealing with many serious issues, among them poverty, drug dealing, prostitution, and violence. The ministry provides a safe haven for neighbors to come have a meal, connect with others, and learn about resources that could help get their lives on track. The word strength is being connected to the Refugee Resettlement Program out of Brentwood, New York. That is a program that is a little bit more of a personal connection here because it's where I'm located. With about 50, I believe, refugees staying here, receiving housing through the Sisters of St. Joseph of Brentwood, we were able to have a conversation interview with a member from the Afghanistan community. So she's a refugee from Afghanistan and a refugee from Ukraine. Those 2 interviews are being actually sourced from a Spirit Alive podcast that was done a year ago that was really, really powerful. And we got permission from Spirit Alive to collaborate and re-edit that material. I was involved in that project as well. Part of the reason for that, and is because right now, many people are not feeling as comfortable and safe to talk about their story, to share their story. And so it just shows the reality of the times right now that we had to find this way to revisit material that many of you maybe didn't get to see when it was originally released, but you should, and you should hear these stories. And again, speaking to the reality of how do we pick one topic, how do we focus in on one area, and how do we bring people to a room that maybe don't feel safe to come to the room. This will be the only video that won't have visual. It will be audio only, out of respect for the safety and the two individuals not wanting to share their face. Right? Strength, though, strength to still tell the story. Compassion is Dawn's Place. Dawn's Place is first of its kind safe home in Philadelphia, filling the gap in services available to women recovering from the trauma of sexual exploitation. The two folks for that one are Sister Megan and Anne Marie Jones. Anne Marie, you got to see in that video there. She was the final one at the end of the trailer. Dawn's Place exemplifies the power of collaborative community action, combining coalition advocacy with direct survivor support. Its innovative approach has set a new standard in Philadelphia for supporting women affected by trafficking and exploitation, offering not just shelter, but a true home and a path to recovery. And then for Courage, we are teaming up with Transparent, where we'll be dialoguing with Sister Nancy Corcoran and Ellen Kunkelman, Ellen being a parent of an LGBT child. Transparent envisions a world that honors and affirms the naturally occurring transgender experience. Our mission is to bring compassionate support to parents and caregivers navigating complex issues faced by their gender-expansive children of any age. I'm so excited and honored to be able to share this list here and to be able to put this out there that you could see what these connections and where the lines are coming from. And then when you get to witness the testimonies and really hear some of these stories, especially, and not to pick a favorite or anything, but for me, hearing Compassion and Dawn's Place and all of them, but especially, you know, Anne Marie's firsthand story of finding love again, as she says in the trailer, right? That it's really profound, and having that opportunity, because we wouldn't have been able to get all these people together in this way. And so really excited to be able to present that. So after the presentation, and you'll have this experience, you know, we'll give you time to process it, and then we'll give you the opportunity to reflect and act. Now, what's really cool about this too is because we're, you know, approaching it in this way of these branches of all these different things that are going on, something's going to hit you differently than it will hit the other person at your table. You know, you might find yourself being really inspired by Hillary's story and what she went through with her illness and different things, right? You might say, no, Dawn's Place, I want to learn more about that, right? And all of that will be real and appropriate. And so then the conversations and the reflection and the action that will happen within your own groups will be really fascinating. I'm curious to see actually how it will multiply and what it will look like, because it's going to be touching all different types of things. And so that afternoon, you'll receive a handout with these two inserts here. And again, we've got another sneak peek here of what it'll look like. And you'll be given the opportunity to be guided to pray with some guiding questions, and then choose one or two ways to take action. There'll be a migration action, there'll be an environmental action, and there'll be a general commitment. And so we have some creative things that we will show you there when we interact with it. But again, leaning into creativity too is a big part of this, is leaning into the ability to, even if you're not creative, right, to engage with creativity as a form of prayer and as a form of storytelling, because that in and of itself lifts up the opportunities for us to be, it heightens our awareness, I think, of other people's situations, and then gets us active in a way that maybe, you know, I think of the term animated a lot. It gets us animated in a way you might not have been before. And so that's a big goal for us here in this experience. And then participants will be invited to continue to explore the message of Ignite by scanning. We're going to have some QR codes for you to download a digital reflection guide based on the presentations. And the guide will include a toolkit of resources to engage in their local community, such as prayers, sample letters, and more. And it will also include links to the videos and to each organization featured. So it'll give you a little something too to go forth with. And as I think I mentioned before, we're also going to have the full interview videos. So if you are like me and you want to dive into that and experience more of that, I should also note that there will be a fundraising effort as well, raising money for all of the organizations. So please be mindful of that. And I think I was told to say, bring your checkbooks. But if you feel that you'd like to give, we are going to donate to all of the organizations and make sure that they all receive opportunity to be lifted up in that way as well. So I'm grateful for your time, grateful for this opportunity to share this with you, and especially just to share a little bit of the video. So we got a good amount of people here. It's been kind of in our little brain here working on this thing. And so to get to the point now where we're actually starting to see these stories that I've been kind of hoarding here to be able to go out is really awesome and exciting. So.
Thanks so much, Christian. This is my first time seeing the teaser as well, so I'm just really amazed at all the work that has gone into this and how everything's come to fruition. We've been storyboarding for a long time, so it's just beautiful to see. I do see Sister Annette McDermott on here. I don't know if I see anybody else from the team, but just want to shout out for being on the committee as well and for leading this beautiful team. I just want to open it up to see, we have a few minutes if anybody has any questions for Christian or on the action.
I have a couple of questions. I can't find my hand.
Yeah, Sister Beth, you can go.
Thank you. I'm thinking that here in Rochester with the ecumenical interfaith community, we're trying to initiate a whole major organizing process of reviving the faith community around the immigration reform. And this, I just ripped off a thing today about the next model for look at our meeting is going to be affordable housing. So I'm saying all that to say, are we going to be able to bring some models that we have then operational back in our own areas at some point?
I don't know that we're talking about affordable housing like in actual policy language
Right.
at this moment. But I know that
immigration is so. I'm just saying,
yeah.
Is there an opportunity for us to come and say, here's some models that are happening back home? I mean, St. Joseph's Northside is ours, or is it just listening to these programs and entering into the programs that are?
Well, so entering into is an interesting way to word it. Like, there won't necessarily. I don't know how to word this. Yes and no. So like, it won't be as like handbooky in the sense of like, here's a program how to do it. There will be more in the sense of the heart and storytelling elements. And then the idea is that whatever inspired you can lead you on a journey to learn more. And whether that's St. Joseph's Northside or whether it's just the idea of housing and saying, oh, I want to do more with that, that can kind of lead from there. And then hopefully too at your tables, everyone can share whatever is going on. I know for us here in Brentwood, there's a lot of different things going on that we'd be excited to talk about in conversations.
Yeah, and I have no problem, I have no question about there's certain issues. You can't take on all issues. It's wacky today, So let's just say the immigration thing. So we've got a really, I think, finally a going thing going on immigration with the wider faith community. So you're set, which I think I hear you say, and I'll certainly stay on topic when I'm there, but anyway, that I probably could share what's going on with immigration in Rochester.
Yeah, and I think one of the beauties about this event is being in person with folks and finding common synergies of where we can share what we're learning in our own communities and find common connections that we can build, stronger networks and learn from each other. So you never know what can transpire from this event. And we are definitely hoping to take back some of our learnings from what is happening and inform our programming in the future for the Federation.
I think Lori has had her hand up there, Kristen.
I had a very similar thought to Sister Beth in that I thought maybe there would be a way, it seems like a lot of these are kind of East Coast based for the most part, and I'm on the West Coast. And I think the Sisters of St. Joseph, no matter where they are living out and associates and are living out these different characteristics. I was wondering if maybe those that are virtual, they could, in the chat, they could, I was saying that they could also talk about different organizations and what they're doing, because there's so much, and I know we can't talk about all of them, but it would just be a great resource for people to have if that could then go up on the webpage about, okay, what's another nonprofit or another ministry based on humility? What's another? And so I was thinking for those that are there present in person, we could have boards, humility, fidelity, strength, and people could put other ministries that represent those different characteristics. So we can see, yes, we need these one-on-one local stories, but I think I'm overwhelmed by the number of ministries that the sisters have done in the past, are doing now. And I think it would really help us to see these stories are everywhere. So I love being able to get the specific stories, but I also love to see sisters and associates everywhere are working on immigration or are working on the environment. And so I just think that's an enhancement. Not so much that what you're doing is wrong. I love what you're doing, but just so we can remember this is national and international.
Yeah, and I really encourage folks to download our Ventla app when it's available. This is an app that will go along with the event, and folks can do stuff like that and participate in those conversations, both by asking questions, putting comments down, starting threads like that of sharing that kind of information so that there can kind of be like you said, that information sharing across the board. Okay, Joanne.
At the other events we've had, I think this is great, first of all, and to the mix of all the different issues, because I've been thinking of that. But when we were in St. Louis several years ago, not the recent one, we were focusing on anti-trafficking, and we found a place in the area called Covering House, where we donated to Covering House. Of course, then some people said, well, we've got places in our local community. And then we were in Florida, and we were connected to the Immokalee farm workers, and we sent postcards to somebody or other, Wendy's, I think, about their tomatoes. Are we going to do any kind of concrete action in terms of this? Or am I jumping the non-violently speaking gun here? Anything, an action like that, a simple action?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're we're going to be doing the migration butterflies experience, which you may have heard of before. I'm not going to share too much about it either, though, because I don't want to spoil anything. And also, Kasha and Sister Bethany have been really leading that more so, and so out of respect for their work with that. But yeah, there will be a postcarding opportunity and a creative hands-on action with these migration butterflies, and then the donation aspect to the 6 organizations. So yes.
Yeah, the thing about that is it would be good to let people know in advance so that they're prepared if they need to give cash for a donation or give anything, even if it's a QR code, to let people know that before they even arrive, that they have the resources to do that.
We will also accept credit cards, Joanne, just so you know.
We're not afraid to take money from any angle.
we can't do that.
It'll be similar to how we did it last time with the cash bail, in terms of accepting and letting folks know ahead of time. So yeah, we'll definitely communicate that out.
And also last time we received donations afterwards, especially from our virtual participants who sent in donations after the event, and I assume we'll do the same this time.
Well, thank you, Christian, so much for your presentation today. We really appreciate all of the hard work that has gone into it, just mountains of hours, and it looks beautiful and it shows. So We really thank you and can't wait to see the finalized product at the 375th event, which, as I mentioned at the top, is exactly a month away. There is still time to participate virtually if you haven't registered already. The link is in the chat. We'll be accepting registrations for that for the next couple weeks. As we get closer, we will have to close that down as well. If you want to participate as a group, you can always talk to your community, your household community, or your mother house to see if there is a viewing party happening. And you will be able to get all of this awesome information and talks and keynotes, and even a play, an off-Broadway play that we will be live streaming on Saturday afternoon for folks.
Now, is Mother St. John coming? We're going to be tuned in.
Who?
Mother St. John, Donna Gunn in full habit from St. Louis, or not?
No,
I
not
think
this-
she's just going to be joining in spirit with us.
Okay.
And just to let everyone know, the Dear Neighbor series will be on hiatus for the summer starting next month, so July and August, and we'll be back in September during the third Wednesday of the month at 12 p.m. Eastern. And as always, if you have any ideas of things you would like to see that the Federation is working on, we're always open. So hope to see everybody next month, and thank you